Hello, welcome back to some 1912 APBA baseball action. I got a scrimmage going today with the new set I picked up and did an unboxing or grand opening video for, and that's the 1912 APBA set. So two great Hall of Fame pitchers are in this set, Christy Mathewson and Walter Johnson. So I thought I would do a scrimmage between these two with some dead ball action from 1912. These envelopes came with the set. I purchased it secondhand, got a very good price, and I thank you to the person who sold them to me, as they are in great shape as advertised. He said these envelopes were made by Chris White. I also have a Negro League 1920 set from Chris that I'm very happy with so far. I'm going to be doing some more with that on the channel and on the side. So I've never seen the white envelopes before, but I like them. They're very sharp, and he did a good job on these. So we will get started here. So one thing I've been doing is trying to do the base runners, and what I'm doing a little different is that with APBA you've got speed of the runners at fast, normal, and slow. So to represent that, I've got different colored tokens. So like a stoplight, red is go, which is fast, yellow is caution, which is the average runners, and then the slow runners will be stop, which will be red. So that way we've got a visual representation of the speed on the base path. So I hope that adds to the enjoyment. As usual, any comments or suggestions or thoughts, or even compliments for that matter, would be appreciated. So here we go. We're in the old Polo Grounds here in 1914. I picked a day in August, so the weather is good. Nice day for baseball. Back in 1912, the pictures in baseball cards were not as great, so I haven't looked through these, so I'm not for sure what we're going to get. But we'll take what we get over here on the right-hand side. Again, it won't be as impressive as the 69 cards, but it is what it is. So here we go. On the mound for the home team, New York Giants, Christy Mathewson comes in at an AYZZ, a G modifier on the home runs. As you can see, he only gave up 5 home runs in 310 innings. Of course, this was dead ball baseball, but even for dead ball baseball, he didn't give up many home runs. His just did a video about the lefty-righty splits. That is Tabletop Talk number 82, if you're interested. If you want to know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the numbers. So anyway, Mathewson is a 15, which is a very high B. Even though he's an A in the they give him a 15 in the master grade. So Moeller, we're leading off here for the Senators. Right fielder, switch hitter versus right-handed pitching. He's a -1, which will add 1 to Mathewson, which will make him an A. So here we go. Without further ado, we'll get the game started. Here's the first batter of the game. 26 is a 29, and that's hit back to Mathewson. And he fields his position well and throws on to Merkel for out number 1. One away, and that brings up the kid Eddie Foster, playing third base today versus a right-handed pitcher. He will add 2 to Mathewson, which will make him 17, which will still be an A. Here is the pitch from Christy Mathewson. 51's an 8, an A and an 8. That's popped up on the infield. Herzog will wave everyone off and put it away for out number 2. So with this being dead ball baseball, again, I don't have a lot of experience with this. I've played some. I have 1911 in Stratomatic and 1908 in replay, and now 1912 in APBA. So the game is a little different. Not a lot of offense. You can see there, not a lot of home runs. Of course, Babe Ruth kind of changed that when he came along. Moeller hit 6, and then the averages look like up, right over 300. They got 4 in a row. Washington does. They were 91 and 61 in second place in the American League. But anyhow, we got 2 away, and that brings Clyde Milan to the plate. Center fielder, left-handed hitter versus righties. He has no adjustment, so that will drop Mathewson to a 15B. Here's the pitch. 52-27. Mathewson's a Y, not an X, so that's a hit down to third. Herzog will field it in the hole, set and throw, and get the speedy Milan by just a hair. So the Senators go in order. We go to the home half of the first, no score. Oh, I keep forgetting. Got to get the great Hambino in the action. All right, leading off for the Giants will be Snodgrass. On the mound for the Senators is the great Walter Johnson, who had an absolutely incredible year, as you can see there in the upper right-hand corner. He is an A and a C with an X and a Y and a Z. So, and he's a 24, so he is up there. 30 is the highest you can get, so I don't remember seeing too many higher than a 24. So the Giants will have their work cut out for him here with the big train on the mound. Snodgrass versus a righty will add 2 to Johnson, which will make him a 26, which is an A and a B. So again, for Snodgrass, it's like Doyle, he hit 330. Myers hit 358. Merkel hit 309. They got a couple guys with double-digit home runs, as you can see there. Doyle had 10 and Merkel had 11, so I think a little better offense for the New York Giant club. 26-27. Johnson is an X and a Y, so he will proceed to strike out Snodgrass to start his day. One away. There's videos on YouTube of Walter Johnson pitching, and this like a whip. Guy like a slingshot is what it reminds you of. But he was super, super good. He's been on my channel before with the 1920 version of the Senators, as he's tackled my 1920 Chicago White Sox in Stratomatic. All right, that brings Larry Doyle, second baseman for the Giants, versus right-handed pitching. He is -1. That makes it 25, which will move Johnson back to an A and a C. 54-32. That's pulled out to right field. Moeller is there, and he will grab it for out number 2. There may not be many base runners on this game. That brings Beals Becker playing center field today for the New York Ball Club. He will take one away from Johnson, which will still keep him at an A and C. 2 out, nobody on. 53-17. That's an error check on the right fielder. Moeller is just a 1 out there, so that's going to drop for a single, and he's going to muff the play. Becker will slide into second with a single and a 1-base error. The right fielder. So Moeller makes the first boo-boo. Obviously, much more errors back in the dead ball era. Between their oven mitt-sized gloves and the fields not being quite what they are today, it was a bit more of a challenge to field then. So Becker's on with a single and an E9. And I'm keeping score with my Bob Carpenter scorebook over here, so bear with me on that. Moeller with an E. So Becker is a fast runner, so he will get the green token. So that brings Murray to the plate. 2 out, nobody on. They're going to pitch to him because Merkel behind him is a bit of a better hitter versus righties. He will add 2 to Johnson, which will make him an A and a B. A is in apple, B is in boy. Runner on second. Big Train settles down and throws the heat. 52-27, and he proceeds to strike him out. So Murray overpowered with the fastball. go down on strikes to end the inning. Second strikeout for Johnson. No runs, a hit, one error, one runner left. We've got one in the books here at the Polo Grounds. No score. Leading off for the Senators will be Chick Gandil. Of course, he is famous as part of the 1919 White Sox. He retired or quit after the 1919, so when they were all banned in 1920, he was already not playing. I don't know if he had intention of coming back and playing again or not, but he didn't play any in 1920. I think he was maybe playing in the Pacific Coast League, perhaps. I can't remember for sure, but he for sure wasn't in Major League Baseball. But here he is with Washington. Had a pretty good year. So versus right-handers, he prefers lefties, so he will tack 2 on to Mathewson, which will make him a 17A as an apple. Here's the pitch. Uh-oh, he hangs one to Gandil. 33. That's a 2 for an A, and that's hit into left center field. Lots of room to run out there in left center field here at the Polo Grounds. Becker will chase it down, but not before Gandil makes it all the way to third with a stand-up triple. He had ideas of doing an inside the Parker here, but Becker did a nice job of getting to it, and he's got a pretty good arm, so he's able to hold Gandil to a triple. It's dead ball baseball right there. Okay, so we got runner on third. Frank Laporte will step up next, second baseman for the Washington club. Let's see, wow. Do you bring the infield in this early in the game with these two guys on the mound? And Mathewson, who had a great year, except for the ZZ, is not quite as good as Johnson was this year. I think they're going to bring the infield in. Every run's going to count here, so they're going to bring the infield in. According to Stratomatic, Laporte's not a bad bunter, and Gandil he's an average runner, so he'll get the yellow token. So we'll go ahead and let him hit away. There's nobody out, so they're going to bring the infield in. Versus right-handers, he is -3, which will add 3 to Mathewson, which makes him an 18, which will be an A as an apple. Here's the pitch. Oh, missed the tower. My rule is they all both get re-rolled when that happens. 46 is a 12. Giants defense is a 2. And so that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. Murray fields it. Gandil tries to tag. Here's the throw to the plate. Meyer blocks it, tags him, and he is out. So nice throw by Murray. He threw a BB, and they get Gandil at the plate for a double play. How about that? Gandil thought he could make it, and it took a good throw to get him. But a good throw he delivered. So Murray with a nice throw is out 9-2. Laporte flies out to 9, double play. He made the first out, so that'll be 2 out, nobody on for Rip Williams, the catcher. That's a big play, especially when every run counts. You can see Williams there hit .318 in limited play. He had a pretty good year versus righties. He will add 3, however, to Mathewson, which will be an 18A as an apple. 16-28, and that's grounded to the shortstop Fletcher. Plays it on the second hop, and sets and throws, and gets Williams by a good amount. All right, that'll do it for the Senators. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. Fred Merkel. He did some kind of boner. Merkel's boner. I don't know what it was, but poor guy, I think he lived his rest of his life with that. A little bit like Ralph Branca giving up the home run to Bobby Thompson in '51. But you can see, at least this year, he was a good ball player. 11 home runs, which was pretty good for this era. 309. So not bad at all. he's got the big unit to deal with. Not the big unit, the big train. Versus righties, he will tack 2 onto the train, which will make him an A and a B as in boy. Here's the pitch. 62. That's a 37. The Senators are a 3. 37. He's not a W, so that's strike 1. 21, and that is strike 3. Again, Johnson mowing him down with the fastball. Third strikeout of the game. First out of the inning. That brings Buck Herzog, the third baseman, up. Versus righties, he'll add 2 to Johnson, which will make him a 26. A and a B as in boy. Here's the pitch. 64, and he goes down swinging. Johnson's got it going today. 2 strikeouts this inning, 2 down. That brings Chief Myers, the Giant catcher. Versus righties, he'll make an A, B, as in boy, out of Johnson. 15's a 7, and he's going to slap one to right field. That's going to drop in front of Moeller. Second hit of the day for the Giants. He is a slow runner, so he gets the red token. Runner on first, 2 out. Fletcher, the shortstop for New York, will add 3. So looks like they could have needed to put some lefties in the lineup. I don't know if they had any. That makes an A-B out of Johnson. Runner on first. Uh-oh, he hangs one. Even the big train is hittable. 61 is a 6. A 6, let's see. Oh, was he going to play it safe? With 2 outs, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. I'd say with runs as rare as they are, I'm going to say he does. So that means he's just going to go to third. So that's going to be a double into the right center field gap. Moeller or Milan, neither one's able to get to it. Myers will be held up at third. Of course, with 2 outs, you might have needed to go for it. But again, I'm a novice at dead ball baseball. So as it is, they've got runners on second and third. Fletcher is a fast runner, so he'll get the green token. That brings Christy Mathewson with a big chance here to help himself. Runners on second and third. Mathewson hit 264, which wasn't bad at all for a pitcher, or for anybody for that matter. You can see there's a few guys in the lineup there who was right around that mark. So he is a -2, however, which will make a 26 A-B out of Johnson this trip. Well, I know that back then those cigar cards were, I guess, the best they could do, I suppose, but they looked horrible. I mean, that picture of Walter Johnson doesn't look anything like Walter Johnson. I don't know if they even tried, but I guess it is what it is. If I ever do a project with this season, I'll see if I can find some better pictures, at least of the big names. All right, Mathewson. Here's the pitch. Johnson trying to relieve or retire his opposite number. 26, 27. And that's hit down to third. Foster will have time, and he'll throw him out. So at least Mathewson made contact. So an opportunity goes by the way there. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave a couple runners on. We've played 2. Still no score. Shortstop George McBride will start off for Washington. So far, they have a triple, but they still have only put 6 up as Gandil was thrown at the plate on a fly ball. So we got 7, 8, and 9 here in the third. He's a -2, which will make a 17A as an apple out of Mathewson. Here's the pitch. 33, and he will hit a ground ball to the left of Doyle. He's not able to get it, and it'll roll into the outfield for a base hit. Second hit of the day for the Senators. Runner on first. He is normal speed, so he gets the yellow. That brings up Howie Shanks playing left field this afternoon. We got nobody out. Walter Johnson was a pretty good hitter as well. So I think we have a sacrifice bunt in order here. They did a lot of that back in the day. So they have the corners in, the Giants do, thinking the same thing, and here it is. 26 is a 27. That's 2 strikes on the batter. Misses 2 attempts to bunt. So we got 2 strikes, and they're going to keep it on. 1 more strike, and he's out. And they're going to go ahead and see if he can persevere and do it again. 56 is a 34, and he gets it down. However, Herzog's going to fire it to the second base. Fletcher, the shortstop, is covering, and they get the force out. So Shanks not able to deliver. Fielder's choice, 5-6. So little things like that could be costly. So the good news is they replace a mediocre runner for a fast one. Walter Johnson, again, he hit 264, even had a couple home runs, 6 doubles, 4 triples. So that man could hit a little bit. He's got Mathewson to contend with. Let's see, he's -2, which will make a 17A as an apple out of Mathewson. And here's the pitch. 32 is a 26. 26 is the second baseman. Doyle's a 7, which is good enough for column 2, and that's hit to up the middle. Doyle will get to it, and he'll flip to Fletcher. Fletcher fires to first, and Walter Johnson beats it out. Nice hustle by the Washington hurler. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. Walter Johnson is of average speed, so we've got 2 outs. Runner on first. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. That brings the leadoff hitter, Moeller. He grounded out to Mathewson in his first at bat. Again, he adds 1, which is a 16, which will make an A for Mathewson. 2 out. Runner on first. 51 is a 10, and again, he's an A, so that's a single to right center. Runner to third. So he drops that over Doyle's head. Murray goes over to cut it off, not before Walter Johnson will find himself at third. So they have him on the corners here, a 2-out rally, so to speak. Okay. And then on the third pitch, Moeller takes off. Myers with the throw, and he is safe. So that's 2 balls, 1 strike on Foster. Stolen base for Moeller. Kind of risky there, but he takes the chance. So Walter Johnson at third. That will put Moeller on with a stolen base and a single. All right, Edward Foster with 2 in scoring position. Runners on second and third. And they're going to pitch to him. Is on deck is Milan, and he's a better hitter. So he's a -2. Make a Mathewson an A. So Moeller is fast. So you got Walter Johnson on third with average speed. Moeller on at second, who is fast. 2 out. Mathewson is an A in this at bat, and here is the pitch. This is a big one here in the top of the third. 46. We got a 12. They are a 2, and he strikes out. So Mathewson with a nice curve there gets him to end the inning. That's the first strikeout for Christy Mathewson, and it was a big one. So both teams getting some opportunities, and neither one able to deliver. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 on, and we go to the home half of the third, still scoreless. All right, top of the order for the Giants. Snodgrass will take the first crack at Walter Johnson. And again, he is most of this team is -2 against right-handed pitching, and with him being a 24, he's going to be in A and B here a lot of the game. And A and B is about as hard as it gets. Uh-oh, that's 6, and it doesn't matter what you are, so that's hit deep into the right center field gap. Nice job by Moeller to cut it off. Here's the throw to second, and he is in safe. McBride applies the tag, but Snodgrass slides under it, and the Giants have a leadoff double. Snodgrass is fast. There he'll be at second base. There's nobody out. Normally you would try to bunt him to third, but he is your second best hitter. So I'm gonna go with what I think I ought to do, and so we're gonna let him swing away and hope for the best here. Could be a mistake, but we'll see how it goes. So he's -1, so that's enough to keep Johnson at an AC. 62-29. Again, the Senators are a 2 on the infield. So that's grounded to first base. The runner will make it to third anyway. Gandill flips to Johnson. They retire Doyle, but Snodgrass makes it to third. So nice job hitting behind the runner. That's the way to do the dead ball baseball. Doyle retired 3-1. That will move Doyle to third, or Snodgrass rather, to third. Brings up center fielder Becker, who is singled and made it to second on an E9. They're going to bring the infield in as well. All right, infield in, runner on third. Becker versus righties will make a 23 out of Johnson, which is an A and a C. Snodgrass with speed at third. Here's the pitch. 13 is a 14. Johnson is a Z, but that will not help him. A ZZ even wouldn't have worked in this situation, so that'll put him on the corners. First walk of the day by Johnson. Becker is fast, so good speed on the base paths for the Giants. Red Murray, he struck out in his first effort of the day, so they're going to do the corners in, hope for a double play up the middle. Well, this is dead ball baseball. Got good speed, at least according to Stratomatic. Murray can bunt. I'm assuming that's reflected in his APBA card. I think we're going to try a suicide here, squeeze play. I don't know if you can do that with first and third. It looks like on the sacrifice bunt chart, you've got a runner on first, runner on second, squeeze play, runner on third, and runners on first and second. So I wonder if that means that you can't squeeze. Oh no, there's another page. Here's a runner on first and third, squeeze play. So he's going to try to squeeze one in here and see what happens. He gets a 14, which is a 30. Out at first, runners advance one base. So it looks like he did it. A 14 is a 30. Runners on first and third, squeeze. So he bunts that down the first base line. Gandill will field it, and his only play will be to Laporte covering first. And the Giants have scored a run. So how about that? Let's see if I can score. Let's see. So he's out. He scores. I've never scored one of these in Stratomatic before. So he's out 3-2. Becker makes it to second. So how about that? A successful squeeze play. Snodgrass scores. He is sack bunt 3-4 for out number 2. Gets an RBI for his troubles. So that moves Becker to second. 2 out. For their best hitter, Fred Merkel, or at least second best hitter. Behind him is Herzog, who is not quite as effective. So you walk him here. I think they're going to go ahead and let the train pitch to him. So he's an A and a B versus Merkel. 35 is a 9 and an A. That's the ground ball to short. And McBride backhands it, sets and throws, and retires Merkel for the last out of the inning. So he's out 6-3. So that was an exciting inning. They managed to scrape a run on 1 base hit, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. And after 3, the Giants have taken a 1-run lead. All right, 3, 4, and 5 due up for Washington, seeing if they can get on the board. Clyde Milan, who grounded out to end the first, will lead off. He is a 0, so that'll make a B15 out of Mathewson. Here's the pitch. 63, that's a fly ball out to Becker in center field. He'll charge toward the infield and catch it at the waist for out number 1. Gandil tripled and was out trying to tag up on a fly ball to Murray. He's -2, so that'll make Mathewson an A as an apple. He has 54, 32, and that's a fly ball out to right field. Murray takes a few steps to right center field and grabs it with 2 hands, which you had to do back then. It wasn't even protocol. You didn't have an option. Gloves weren't that big. Out number 2. Frank Laporte will make an A out of Mathewson. So Mathewson with an A. 2 out, nobody on. 26, 27. He is not an X, so that's a ground ball down to third. Herzog charge, place it on the short hop, trying to avoid that in-between hop. Makes the play and throws him out to end the inning. So nice job by Mathewson to hold the lead after the Giants have fought to get it. That's always good for morale. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 New York. Of course, the Giants won the National League. Got beat by the Red Sox in the World Series. As I understand, it was a pretty good World Series. Baseball Demo said that there was a book written about it, so I will definitely have to look into that as I further enjoy this set. All right, Whitey Herzog, New York third baseman, will take the first crack at Johnson here in the 4th. He struck out in his first at bat. 52-27, and he strikes out in his second at bat. Having a hard time figuring out the big train. Strikes out for out number 1. Strikeout number 5 today for Walter Johnson. Chief Myers, he has singled and it got as far as third, but was stranded there. And he makes an A and a C out of, or A and a B rather, out of Johnson. 43-29, and he strikes out. So now they've done it. They've made the big train mad. 2 out. Fletcher, who doubled and was stranded there as well. He makes an A and a B as in boy out of Johnson. Here's the pitch, 2 out, nobody on. 41-28, and that's a ground ball up the middle. Johnson not able to flag it, but McBride does, and he twists across his body, makes a nice throw. Gandil catches it just in time to retire Fletcher. Now the Giants go in order. And we go to the top of the 5th. Still a 1-run advantage, New York Giants. Rip Williams will start with Mathewson. Mathewson will be an A as an apple for this at bat. Williams grounded out to short to end the second in his first effort of the game. 61-24, and he hits a hard grounder to Fletcher. Fletcher positioned correctly, makes the play, and retires him for the first out of the inning with no difficulties. McBride, George McBride, shortstop. He singled and was erased on a fielder's choice as Shanks was trying to advance him over with a bunt. 2, that's 17, so Mathewson is an A. 65, that's a ground ball down to Markle at first as McBride takes curveball the other way, but Markle is able to get to first unassisted for out number 2. Howie Shanks, 2 out, nobody on. And he will keep Mathewson at an A. 63, and that's a fly ball out to center field. Becker will put it away with no difficulties, and so a very uneventful 5th for the Senators. As they go in order for the 2nd inning in a row, as Mathewson looks like he's getting in a groove. And Mathewson will lead off the bottom of the 5th here for the home team. He's 0 for 1 as he grounded out with runners on 2nd and 3rd back in the 2nd. See, he makes an A and a B out of Johnson. Here's the pitch. 26-27, and he is retired on strikes. Strikeout number 7. Top of the order in Snodgrass. He doubled and scored the lone run today. And Johnson's a 26, A and a B. Here's the pitch. 46-12. That's a little number down the line. Foster charges. Not the greatest third baseman ever, but he makes a nice play here as he nips Snodgrass just by a step. Two away for Doyle, who's 0 for 2. Let's see, he's -1, so that will keep Johnson at an A and a C. Uh-oh, Johnson hangs one. Doyle's got some power. 15, and he takes it yard. However, Johnson is a G, so that means 11-26. This will be turned into a double. And it's not. How about that? Down the right field line. Doyle gets just enough of it to get it out of here. The Giants take a 2-run lead. Looks like Doyle was sitting on a fastball, and that's what the big train gave him. Probably not too many people can say they hit a home run off Walter Johnson, but Mr. Doyle just did. So 2-0 New York Giants. So that's a A and a C for Walter Johnson here. For Becker, Becker is singled and walked. 26-29, and he strikes out. Johnson decided he's not fooling around anymore. Strikes out Becker, and that'll do it. However, the Giants get another run. So in a game like this, 2 runs is a very good lead. Doyle with the home run. So we go to the 6th, 2-0 New York Giants. All right, Walter Johnson will lead off. You'll see if he can get the offense going. Just 3 hits off Mathewson today, and he hasn't walked any, so he's pitching a good game. Johnson's a -2, 17, so that'll make Mathewson an A. 45, he's a 14. However, Mathewson is a ZZ, and so that will be 2 balls. You don't see a ZZ too often. And I throw the dice off the table. Luckily, I have a spare. Let's try that again. 65-35. And that's grounded down to first. Johnson takes it the other way. Bit tardy on a Mathewson outside fastball, and Markle, who is a very fine defender, will take it to the bag himself for out number 1. Top of the order. Danny Moeller, he has singled and stole a base. Here's the pitch from Mathewson. Let's see, -1, so that's enough to make a 16A out of him. 21 is a 30. That's a fly ball to left. Snodgrass is there. Retires that for out number 2. 2 away for Eddie Foster. -2. He'll make an A for Mathewson. Here's the pitch. Foster is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's the only strikeout Mathewson has recorded this afternoon. 16-28. And there's another grounder to short. This time right to Fletcher. He doesn't have to move an inch and hit hard enough that he can lob it over to first for out number 3. For the 3rd inning in a row, Mathewson has retired the Senators in order. We go to the bottom of the 6th rather. Still 2-0 New York Giants. 4, 5, and 6 due up for New York. So Murray is a -2. He has got a squeeze bunt RBI to his credit as he bunted Snodgrass in back in the 3rd for the first run of the day. Again, Johnson's an A and a B. 42-22. They are a 2 on the infield. So that's a ground ball to first. Gandill makes the play. Flips on to Walter Johnson to retire Murray for out number 1. Gandill, a fine first baseman when it comes to fielding. Fred Merkel, he's 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded out to short. Again, Johnson will be an A and a B as in boy for this at bat. 42-9, and that's a hit. Another grounder to short. McBride fields this one. McBride throws on to Gandill. Gandill scoops it out of the dirt, and he is retired. Another good play there by Gandill as he saves McBride an error there. 2 outs for Herzog. 26, A and a B for Johnson still. 2 out, nobody on. 26, 29, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 9. The 3rd time Herzog is struck out. He's on his way to getting the golden sombrero. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. As they go in order, we go to the 7th, still 2-0 New York. Clyde Milan will step to the plate. We got 3, 4, and 5 up for Washington. Seeing if they can figure out Christy Mathewson. Milan's 0 for 2. He will keep Mathewson at a B as in boy. 56, and he strikes out. Nice change of pace there by Christy Mathewson. He strikes him out, his 2nd strikeout of the day. Not the strikeout pitcher that Walter Johnson is, but still, as I understood it, could throw some smoke. Chick Gandill, he's got a triple and 2 at-bats. Let's see, Mathewson will be an A. 12 is a 25. He takes that the other way up the middle. Doyle goes to his right, backhands it, sets and throws, and retires Gandill. Nice play by the New York 2nd baseman. Quickly 2 away for Laporte. Laporte is 0 for 2. Flied out into that double play back in the 2nd and grounded to 3rd. Mathewson will be an A. 64, and he gets 2 balls. Again, Mathewson has the ZZ, so 2 balls on Laporte. 54, and that's fly ball out to Murray. Hit kind of shallow. Murray will run and snag it just before it hits the ground. 7th inning stretch time here at the Polo Grounds. As Mathewson is in a groove. He's retired 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 3 is 12, 13 batters in a row. Trivia question. What second baseman led the major leagues in fielding average 9 times? How about Roberto Alomar? It's just a guess. Eddie Collins. Hey, my man, from the 1919 Chicago White Sox. He was not indicted in the Black Sox scandal, so he went on to play quite a few years and ended up in the Hall of Fame. Teammate with Chick Gandill for a few years there in Chicago. All right, New York has 7, 8, and 9, who will come up against Johnson here in their half of the 7th. Chief Myers, the catcher, will start. He is 1 for 2. Johnson will be an A and a B as in boy. Here we go. 44, and that's a 7, and that's going to be a single to right field. Nice job by Myers taking a fastball the other way. And that's hit number 6. Well, you would think in dead ball era with an A and a B most of the time that 6 hits would be unfathomable, but here we are. So leadoff hit for Myers. Let's see. You got runner on first. You got Fletcher. I think he's got 331, so I think they're going to try the hit and run. They've got a 2-run lead. They can afford to be crazy. So here's the hit and run for Fletcher. Has a 61, a 39 on the hit and run. Is called a strike, and Myers is caught stealing 2-4. So Fletcher fails to hit the ball. Maybe hit and running against a man who can throw as hard as Johnson is a bad idea. But he is caught stealing 2-4. Just double check that. 61, 39. Yep. So that's strike 1 on Fletcher. Nobody on, 1 out now. And again, Walter Johnson is an A and a B here. Here's the pitch. 13 is a 42, and he gets plunked. Ouch. As I understand it, Walter Johnson was a very nice man and was known anything but a headhunter, but one got away from him there. And if I remember correctly, he was actually a little concerned that he might hurt somebody because he threw so hard. All right. Christy Mathewson is grounded out and struck out. We've got Fletcher, who is fast on first. And there's 1 out already, so we're going to let Mathewson hit away. And he will keep Walter Johnson at an A and a B, as in boy. 12 is a 25, and that's probably not going to be good, and it's not. Ground ball down to Laporte at second. He fires on to McBride. Makes a nice turn to get it to Gandill. 4-6-3. Double play. 4-6-3. So that'll do it for the Giants here in their half of the 7th. My black ink. I color code my scorebook. So this particular play needs black. 4-6-3 double play. So they get a hit batter, end up leaving nobody on with the caught stealing and the double play. So we go to the 8th. The Senators down by 2. All right, Rip Williams will start off here against Mathewson. He's grounded to short twice. And Mathewson will be a B, or an A rather, I'm sorry. Here's the pitch. 36, and he would get a walk, but again, Mathewson has that ZZ rating, so that's ball 2. 21, and he strikes out. So strikeout number 3 of the day. So he gets behind in the count, but comes back to strike him out. 1 away. Again, 3 strikeouts for Christy Mathewson. first time Williams was retired on strikes. McBride is singled and grounded out to first. And again, Mathewson will stay at an A for this at bat. 64, and he strikes out. Nice fastball there. Good fastball high on the inside corner. McBride tries to get it, can't catch up to it. 4 strikeouts for Mathewson. As I think that's 19 in a row he's retired, or something crazy like that. So Howie Shanks. Shanks is 0 for 2. And he's a -2. So once again, Mathewson will be an A as an apple. 63, and he makes contact, but hit out to Becker in center field, who will track it down to end the inning. Let's get this number here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's retired 4 innings in a row. 4 times 3 is 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 actually. 5 times 3 is 15, 16. So he's retired. Mathewson has retired 16 hitters in a row. So he is in the groove. Top of the order for the Giants here in the 8th. Walter Johnson trying to keep the deficit to 2, if at all possible. Snodgrass has doubled and scored in 3 plate appearances. And he will give Johnson what he needs to be an A and a B as in boy. Here's the pitch. 15 is an 11. And that's a single to left. Shanks plays it on a couple of hops. 7th hit today for the Giants. Around the horn here again. There we go. So leadoff single. And on the first pitch to Doyle, Snodgrass breaks for second. Williams with a pitch in the dirt fields it, makes a throw, but not a very good one. Snodgrass is in with a stolen base. So runner in scoring position, no out. For Doyle. Doyle has a home run as he hit one down the right field line. Pretty short distance here to right field at the Polo Grounds. Runner on second. I think they're going to let Doyle hit away here. Again, he's their second, or perhaps probably their best hitter in the lineup. Him and Merkel are kind of close. A and a C for Johnson. Here's the pitch. Uh-oh. Johnson hangs another one. 65, that's a 7. Let's see, A, so that's with a runner on second. Everybody does a single to right, and the runner scores. So just out of a line drive, just out of Laporte's reach, Snodgrass will score easily. And it is 3-0 Giants. So Doyle had quite a game here against Walter Johnson. Snodgrass scores his second run of the game, second RBI for Doyle. And I forgot to have Snodgrass. Snodgrass was fast. He was at second. And now Doyle is at first, and he is fast as well. So Becker, nobody out. Runner on first. They're going to hang with Johnson. Unless it gets much worse. So again, he will make an A and a C out of Johnson. Here's the pitch. Oh, how about that? Poor Walter Johnson is just not getting the breaks today. So Becker gets one to hit. 43. Let's see. So there's a double over the first base bag. Gandil can't get to it. And that's down in the right field corner. And Doyle, with good speed, is going to make it all the way home. That's a double. Scores. Well, with the dice, you just never know. Anything can happen. I know in my 69, I don't remember who it was, but there was somebody who was a D and a W, and he pitched I think to the 8th inning, gave up 1 run. So, I mean, again, any given day, Johnson just doesn't have it today. All right, nobody out. Becker is a fast runner on second. And Johnson will see if he can get out of here with any more embarrassment. -2, so that's an A and a B versus Johnson. 16-28. And let's see, the third baseman is Foster, and he is not very good. So that's, let's see, wait, 16-28. That's a shortstop. McBride is an 8, and he's a 2. So that's a ground ball to short. He'll look Becker back to second and fire on to first for the first out of the inning. Fred Merkle is 0 for 3. Again, an A and a B for Walter Johnson. 1 out, runner on second. 32 is a 26. The 26 is the second baseman, who is Laporte, who is not very good. So that's a ground ball to Laporte. He will make the play on Merkle. Becker will make it to third. As Merkle goes the other way and hits it on the ground, so that'll put Becker at third. 2 out. 2 runs in already. Buck Herzog has struck out 3 times today, so he is the one man who has not been able to figure out Walter Johnson. Walter Johnson still an A and a B. 16-28. That's the shortstop, who is an 8. 28, and that's ground ball to McBride. And he will make the play to retire the side. All righty, so Senators have their work cut out for them now as the Giants tack on 2 more. On 3 hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the 9th, 4-0 New York Giants. So a surprising game here. Again, that's why you roll the dice. You just never know what's going to happen. So Walter Johnson doesn't have it today, and at least to this point, Christy Mathewson certainly does, as he's throwing a shutout, 3-hit shutout. He's retired the last 16 in a row, I believe it is. So Walter Johnson, they're going to go ahead and let him hit. I mean, let's see what they got on the bench. I doubt they got anything much better. Walter Johnson was a pretty good hand to hit. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and let him hit, see if he can maybe save some face here against his nemesis, Christy Mathewson. Christy Mathewson will be an A. So far today, Walter Johnson's 0 for 2. 35 is a 9 on an A, and that's a ground ball hit hard, but right to Fletcher at short, and he will retire him for out number 1. 1 away. Moeller will step up next. He will make an A out of Mathewson. Moeller has singled, stole a base in 3 plate appearances. 53 is a 16. That's a check on the center fielder. Becker is a 2, and that's going to drop for a hit. So Becker not able to get to it. A little rainbow out to center field will fall in front of him. Moeller on with his second hit of the day. He is fast. He's on first base there. That brings Foster to the plate. Runner on first, 1 out. Foster is 0 for 3. He will make Mathewson an A. Here's the pitch. 23-27. He's not an X. 27 is the third baseman. Herzog is a 4, which is good enough for fielding column 2. And so that's he'll go to Doyle at second for the fielder's choice. That is all they will be able to get, as the ball was hit relatively slow, so not hard enough to get the double play. But 2 out, runner on first, fielder's choice. Foster on first is fast. Clyde Milan, he is the only thing standing between the Senators and defeat. He's a 0, so that will make Mathewson a B. Most of the day he's been an A, but this at bat he will be a B. Milan is 0 for 3 today, however. 44 is an 8 on a B, and that's a ground ball hit the other way to Herzog, and he will fire on to Merkle, and that is the game. Stays 5-3. Okay. Let's check out our box score here. So that was a good one. Some 1912 dead ball action against two Hall of Fame pitchers. So Walter Johnson takes the loss. Not a great game for him. 8 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, 2 walks and 9 strikeouts. Mathewson gets the win as he was on today. 9 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts. The Giants get 4 runs on 9 hits, no errors. Senators were shut out at 0 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. I'd say at the bat, Doyle was the hero, the second baseman for the Giants, as he had 2 runs or 2 hits, 2 RBI. But I say the star of the game is going to be Mathewson. A complete game shutout. I tell you what, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do a joint star of the game. So both of them will get their choice of gift certificates to the tavern of their choice here in beautiful New York. All right, so there you have it, some 1912 dead ball action with my new set. Enjoyed that very much. It's a different, baseball was a different animal back in 1912, but it's always fun to play with these names, that you've heard of. Of course, Mathewson and Walter Johnson, 2 fantastic pitchers, very successful. And as I understand it, both of them pretty good guys. They played the game as gentlemen, as I understand it. So I think Christy Mathewson was gassed in World War I, and I think that really affected him once he returned in 1919. So that was a sad story, if that's true. But anyway, I appreciate it very much. And as usual, any comments, let me know what you think about this 1912 set, and I will see you next time.